गम जाने कब होंगे कम इस दुनिया के गम जीने वालों पे सदा बेजुर्म खता होते जा रहे हैं सितम जाने कब होंगे कम इस दुनिया के गम जीने वालों पे सदा बेजुर्म खता होते जा रहे हैं सितम जाने कब होंगे कम इस दुनिया के गम जाने कब होंगे कम इस दुनिया के गम जाने कब होंगे कम
The floods in Pakistan have devastated towns and farmland, causing over $13 billion in economic damage, according to that country's government. The human toll still being counted. But when the water clears, it will be time to rebuild. And a part of that effort may come from Ghaus Akbar. He's group director of the Akbar Group. He joins us live from Karachi, which is, of course, the business capital of that country. Good evening to you. I appreciate you joining us this morning for us. I know, Ghaus, right now you are building a grain terminal in Karachi. We've heard so much about the crop devastation in Pakistan. What are you seeing?
Well, good morning, everyone, and good morning, Margaret. Thank you for having me on the show. What we're doing right now is building Pakistan's first automated grain and fertilizer terminal, which will allow us to export and import food items as well as fertilizer, and also store it. As you can imagine, what the floods have exposed is that Pakistan has an immediate need for extensive food storage facilities, both from a food security standpoint and also from a logistics standpoint. So we've seen, and I must also make a point that it's a moving target. About $200 million of wheat has been destroyed. We've lost the rice crop. There's been a loss of farm animals. So we've had a lot of devastation here, and the floods, the damage is still going on. But what it has exposed is also that there's tremendous opportunity in Pakistan to develop the logistics and the storage chain and the transport chain in the country.
Now, I know, Ghaus, that you, with your umbrella of businesses, you brought McDonald's to Pakistan, you brought Louis Vuitton to Pakistan, you've run a number of businesses and brands there. Your customer tends to be wealthier than average, far wealthier. What has the impact been on the business capital? I know these floods are happening in more of the rural areas.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention that cities like Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad are more like the engines of the Pakistan economy. They so far are not affected by the floods. The floods have affected the rural part of the country and some of the smaller cities. So by and large, the mainstream cities have not been affected by the floods immediately per se. But of course, the sentiment does affect business. And so we're kind of having to grapple with that. But we're rebuilding, we're working together with different NGOs. For example, we also have, my company has Pakistan's only private jet and helicopter service, and we are working with NGOs such as Médecins Sans Frontières, MSF, who is doing a fantastic job in Pakistan, and we're trying to take them to different parts of the country which aren't accessible by road anymore.
Okay. Ghaus, we're running out of time here, but we have a quick question here from the Defense Secretary.
Mr. Akbar, if I could ask you, what is the sentiment amongst the Pakistani people? Polls have been taken that show that about 68% of the Pakistani people have a very negative opinion of the United States.